TV OK set to feature more local dialects in East Malaysia. EC to use new boundaries for GE14. Good afternoon, you're watching News on 2. I'm Jessica Lee. Now, RTM's newly launched TV OK will enable messages to be delivered more effectively to Sabah and Sarawak via the two states' local dialects. Now, TV OK was launched by Datuk Seri Najib Tun Razak in Kota Kinabalu last night. The Prime Minister said TV OK can improve the level of two-way communication between the government and the people, as well as develop the creative industry.
Dan di samping itu, apa juga kita nak sampaikan sebagai sebuah kerajaan, boleh kita sampaikan kepada rakyat. Dan cara yang berkesan selain daripada bahasa kebangsaan adalah melalui bahasa tempatan. Bahasa tempatan cukup berkesan, apatah lagi dengan kepelbagaian kumpulan etnik.
The channel can be viewed on Astro 109 and My Freeview 110, as well as RTM's mobile application. Meanwhile, Communications and Multimedia Minister Datuk Seri Dr. Saleh Said Kerot revealed that the name of the channel, which is an acronym for Opportunity, Knowledge, Experience and Yours, was chosen as it is catchy. The new program will put on focus on the daily lives of the communities in Sabah and Sarawak, which is in line with the government's effort to promote unity, tolerance, peace and other virtues that will instill a sense of patriotism. The Election Commission or EC will use the new electoral boundaries in the 14th General Election or GE14 if the redelineation of electoral boundaries was gazetted before the dissolution of the 13th Parliament. EC Chairman Tan Sri Muhammad Hashim Abdullah said if passed by the Dewan Rakyat, the EC would present the redelineation motion to the Yang di-Pertuan Agong to obtain his royal consent. Tan Sri Muhammad Hashim said the redelineation of the electoral boundaries was done based on the population growth or demographic development of an area, hence refuting the opposition's allegation that the exercise was only aimed at ensuring victory for the ruling party. He said the redelineation motion was supposed to be passed 2 years ago, but was delayed after the opposition parties objected and took the matter to court. Meanwhile, in order to ensure transparency in the polling and counting of ballots, the EC has called on all contesting parties to provide adequate number of agents at all polling stations, counting stations and EC booths.
Kalaulah kata dia tak hantar, patut dia hantar 2 orang, dia hantar seorang, berarti dia miss lah satu perkiraan tu mungkin sebab kita nak buat serentak. Saya yakin rakyat nak tahu keputusan cepat. Tak, rakyat dia tak sempat dah. Dia kalau kita kata boleh dia dapat result pukul 11 tu dia dah marah kita dah. Mana boleh pukul 11? Patut pukul 9 lagi.
For the first time ever, the EC would also give the opportunity to university students to be involved as observers to oversee the election process this year. Tan Sri Muhammad Hashim said the EC had also invited election observers from 12 countries, including non-government organisation NGOs representatives, for the coming General Election 14, as compared to only from 3 countries in GE13. The anti-fake news bill is set for its first reading in the Dewan Rakyat next week. The matter was confirmed by Minister in the Prime Minister's Department, Datuk Sri Azalina Othman Said. She disclosed that the draft bill, which seeks to formulate a new law to stop the spread of fake news that may threaten the country's political stability and undermine public order and national security, was given the go-ahead by the Cabinet yesterday. Datuk Sri Azalina, who is the de facto law minister, also confirmed that the briefing session on the matter with Barisan Nasional and the opposition members of parliament will be held soon. The formulation of the new legislation is meant to address the creation and spread of fake news and to protect the rakyat from falling victim to fake news. However, this legislation will in no way stem the people's freedom of speech as enshrined in the federal constitution. Meanwhile, according to Deputy Communications and Multimedia Minister Datuk Sri Jailani Johari, the draft is currently undergoing a refining process, which includes reviewing feedback from various non-governmental organisations. Datuk Sri Dr. Mazahid Hamidi has advised Barisan Nasional politicians not to be political bats who only make seasonal appearances. The Deputy Prime Minister said MPs and State Assemblymen must be seen in the field constantly and not only make appearances during the election period, drawing comparison to bats that are only seen during the fruiting season.
Bila diumumkan saja pembubaran, maka akan hiruk pikuklah. Seluruh jentolak akan menolak batu-batu kerikil dan juga jalan-jalan tar untuk memperlihatkan bahawa keperhatian oleh kepimpinan yang amat perhatian kepada rakyat ketika musim buah telah sampai, maka kelawar-kelawar pun berkeliaranlah.
Datuk Sri Dr. Ahmad Zahid made the remark during his speech at the Sentohan Rakyat Carnival at Sekolah Kebangsaan Puncak Alam 3 in Kuala Selangor yesterday. The Deputy Premier described Puncak Alam as one of the most important polling areas in Kuala Selangor. Meanwhile, Datuk Sri Dr. Ahmad Zahid, who is also Home Minister, has approved Kuala Selangor MP Datuk Sri Dr. Irmuhizam Ibrahim's request for a police station, a fire and rescue station and a TN50 hall to be built in Puncak Alam. An allocation of 1 million ringgit has also been approved to upgrade several roads there. Perak government may soon limit the number of tourists to Royal Burlong State Park. Stay with us. And before we move on, let's take a look at the latest weekly fuel prices. Now, Malaysia's 6% Goods and Services Tax, or GST, is the lowest compared to the rates imposed by other countries. Prime Minister Datuk Sri Najib Tun Razak said the government remained concerned and has exempted the GST on 578 essential goods. Speaking when launching the Jualan Sentohan Rakyat Carnival and Suruhanjaya Syarikat Malaysia or SSM Biz Fair in Kota Kinabalu, Sabah, Datuk Sri Najib also said that the revenue from GST had enabled the government to provide various forms of aid and incentives to the people, such as the One Malaysia People's Aid or BRIM. At the event, the Prime Minister announced that the carnival would be held fortnightly in every parliamentary constituency in the country. He said that the 5 billion ringgit allocation for the organisation of the carnival would be doubled to organise it throughout the country. Meanwhile, Sabah Chief Minister Tan Sri Musa Aman described the Jualan Sentohan Rakyat program as a commitment by the government to reduce the burden faced by the people from the increasing cost of living. Tan Sri Musa said the program can be enjoyed not only by those in urban areas, but also people in rural areas, adding that the effort will not only assist the people, but also increase the purchasing power among consumers. Tan Sri Musa said at times the prices of goods are manipulated by unscrupulous middlemen who only wants to make more money. To ensure prices of goods do not increase, the government allocated 70 million ringgit for transportation of goods to the rural areas. Now, while logistics costs have been the main concern for the previous One Malaysia People's shops, the government will help reduce transportation costs for the new CRIM 2.0. Now, according to Deputy Prime Minister Datuk Sri Dr. Mazahid Hamidi, the government will be absorbing the transportation costs to help synchronise the prices of goods in Peninsular Malaysia as well as in Sabah and Sarawak. The Deputy Prime Minister explained that the government will be negotiating with manufacturers and producers to bring down prices of the goods to below market prices. However, Datuk Sri Dr. Ahmad Zahid did not disclose how much the government will be absorbing.
Ianya meliputi juga tentang dasar
cabotage, di mana penyelarasan harga dari segi pengurangan kos pengangkutan untuk barangan yang dijual di Sabah dan Sarawak, dan tujuan KPDNKK untuk penyelarasan harga dengan kita menyerap kos pengangkutan barangan ini akan menyamaratakan harga jualan untuk Semenanjung, Sabah dan Sarawak.
The second generation CRIM, spearheaded by Perbadanan Nasional Berhad or PNS, was launched yesterday with the new strategic partner KK Supermart. Currently, there are 52 CRIM 2.0 outlets, and the government has targeted to have 3,000 CRIM outlets by 2020. Now, the Perak government may soon limit the number of tourists to the Royal Berlum State Park in Greek at any one time. Now, this according to Perak Menteri Besar Datuk Seri Dr. Zamri Abdul Kadir. This is to ensure that it is continually preserved, thus making it an exclusive tourist destination in the state. Datuk Seri Dr. Zamri said the uncontrolled arrival of too many tourists could adversely affect the natural beauty and ecosystem of the area.
Ya, kita nak, tetapi dalam masa yang sama mesti ada kawalan terhadap bilangan sebenar yang dapat datang ke kawasan berkenaan pada satu-satu masa. Kalau kita tidak membuat kawalan itu, maka ia akan menimbulkan masalah serius terhadap alam sekitar di kawasan yang berkenaan.
The Menteri Besar said he had directed the relevant departments, including the Perak State Parks Corporation, the Hulu Perak District and Land Office, the Greek District Council and the Forestry Department to preserve Royal Berlum. Now, the newly launched National Emission Test Centre, or NETC, will provide a strategic advantage to the local automotive industry, as the costs associated with emission testing will now be 40% lower and allow for faster testing times. Now, the NETC would also further promote energy-efficient vehicle or EEV usage in Malaysia, in line with the target of 80% EEV penetration by 2022.
If they were to send the car overseas now, the fee for the test alone is about 30 to 40,000 per one unit ringgit, and not including logistic cost. Here, there's no logistic cost, and then the cost easily I can only guarantee a 40% lower in terms of the testing fee.
Speaking at the launch of the NETC yesterday, Datuk Madani said the centre would also act as an element to attract foreign investors to expand their businesses in Malaysia by providing the necessary facilitation to ease the operation through the vehicle certification process. The 50 million ringgit centre, the first full-fledged vehicle emissions testing facility in Malaysia, is testament of a successful technology transfer from Daihatsu Motor Corporation, or DMC, of Japan to Perodua Auto Corporation Sdn Berhad, with the MAI as the partner to operate the centre. Now, after yesterday's breakaway stole the show and the day ended with the rider being disqualified from the race for fighting, the drama and intrigue continues on stage 4 of the Tour de Langkawi. Now, the flat sprinters' day was on paper the calm before the storm, a chance to rest the legs before Queen Stage 5 to Cameron Highlands today. Ricardo Minali of Astana became the first multiple stage winner of this year's Tour de Langkawi after taking victory from a sprint on stage 4. The Italian beat Andre Guardini of Bardiani CSF and Malaysia's Muhammad Harif Saleh of TSG to win the bunch sprint in Pekan. Although stage 4 was won by Minali, it was a day with ramifications for the general classification, particularly for Dimension Data, who have lost Mexep Debese from the race after he crashed and fractured his pelvis. Debese was the stage winner at Cameron Highlands last year and had started stage 4 of the race in 7th place and now within reach of Adam DeVos's yellow jersey. That all came crashing down with 4.5 kilometers to race into Pekan when Debese was involved in a fall. A statement from the race following the stage confirmed the pelvis injury for the 26-year-old who was helicoptered to the capital. And that's it from us in our top story. New boundaries to be used in G14 if gazetted before dissolution of Parliament. News on 2 will be back at 7 p.m. Till then, I'm Jessica Lee. Thank you for watching.